So, good morning, the holiest day of the week, the Sabbath, and the Lord has put it in my heart to share because I didn't know how I was going to do this or how any of this was going to come out, but it's that time. It's pretty much going to be a reaccountance of the last 11 years because I've been deep in this spiritual war for about 11 years now, and literally I was just out of nowhere tossed right into the heart of it. I had no idea what was going on or how I was being deceived or how I was being used. Like, it's insane, and there's going to be a lot of mind-blowing things I'm going to tell you guys. Jesus. Starts about 2009, I would say. I'm from New York. I live in New York, and I can tell you this is really a horrible place. Technically, I live in Long Island, but it's really horrible. The energy out here is so crazy. I'm gonna get into a lot of things, and I don't know what to really call this video, but so this is how it started for me, how I got caught up into all of this. Doing drugs, in which I admit weed, pills, acid, LSD. I think I did mushrooms once or twice, not a lot, like probably 2 or 3 shrooms, and Molly. I'm going to tell you guys about Molly. Molly is dangerous. My first time on a Molly, 2009, and this is way different Molly than, I'm pretty sure, than when everybody else was getting. I don't know where this started. It came from upstate. My boy used to really drive like 4 or 5 hours all the way upstate just to go get it. It was strong, and I had no idea how strong it was. But, man, 2009, driving through the city, because my friend's job was to drive. He was driving around taking pictures of houses for his boss, the houses that his boss owns. And I guess that was his job. And we were just riding around the city. And this is about the summer of 2009, I said about June. And I was just quiet. It's 2 of my friends. One's driving, the other one's in the passenger. I'm just in the back seat, really quiet. This is when we were like straight up on alkaline water and trying to do things, and it's gonna go deep, but so they're like, yo, Dana's mad quiet. My name is Dana, by the way. Dana, D-A-N-A. And they're like, Dana's mad quiet in the back seat. Like, I'm like, I'm just chilling back here. Like, I'm good. And they're like, yeah, give him a pill. Like, and I didn't know what it was or anything. Like, I knew they were doing it, but I'm like, I don't know what that is. Like, and they're like, oh, don't worry. It's just going to make you mad talkative. You're going to get mad happy. And watch, you're going to see. And I'm like, all right. So I take the pill, which I say was about, it might have been a gram in this pill, probably half to a gram. And yeah, before I knew it, about half an hour later, but before it started kicking in really fast, and I was just, out of nowhere, I just felt happy, like, so happy. I couldn't control myself. Like, I rolled down the window. I started talking to people on the side, and I was jogging. This white lady, she was jogging, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? It's so beautiful out today. She's like, yeah. And like, I just started getting more and more excited, and I just went into my mind, and like, the energy I was feeling was completely crazy. Like, I felt so much positive energy, and I started going through thoughts in my mind, like going through realizations. And I realized, like, I got kicked out of school in 9th grade, and the only thing I passed was English and business. And I realized like, yo, the only thing, this is why I'm on the Molly and stuff, like these are the thoughts that's going through my mind. And before I knew it, I just started pacing things, putting things together in my mind. I'm like, oh my goodness, like I got kicked out and the only thing I passed was English and business, which means language is my business. That was all I needed to learn from school. I don't need anything else more. And back then we were pretty much like, I don't want to say too smart for school, or like, but we knew, you know, school really meant nothing. Like I didn't really care for school at all. Like I passed. I made sure I passed, so that was from my mom. Like, but I didn't really care. I skipped classes. I did a whole lot. But, and I'll tell you why I got kicked out. And this is before I even realized what was truly going on. These people, the Illuminati and the Freemasons and all of that, they knew about who I was, and before I even knew anything about what was going to happen or how I was even going to be into this thing. But 2009, in the backseat of this guy's car, and I put these things together, and I just got so happy, and I felt this vibration, heavy, a line like this vibration started from my stomach, like right here on this side, just started shaking. It was like a ball or something, like, and it just started shaking. My whole body started shaking. I just got so excited, and I'm like, yo, I don't know what's about to happen, like, oh my goodness, like, and then it shot in a curved mode, like it went zoom, like it went this way, and then traveled directly into my heart. And now both of these areas are vibrating massively, like my heart and everything vibrating. And before I even knew what was going on, like, I'm telling my friends, like, yo, something's happening, like, yo, I'm about to go somewhere, like, I don't know what's happening, like, and before I knew it, boom, the vibrations, like, my whole mind and everything, like, pew, like, it happened so fast, completely came out of my body. It was for like a good 3 to 5 seconds. I shot off, I don't know where I went, and then instantly came right back, boom. And when I could see, like, I seen everything, like, I seen myself, and this is like a real, like a holographical field, like I guess the universe is holographical or something like that, or the soul, or this is how it looks. But I've seen my soul, like, leaving my body, like, and I'm looking at it, and it's smiling at me in the most happiest manner, and I'm like, and I'm happy at the same time. I'm like, where are you going? And it's talking to me like, I'll be back, don't worry. And before I knew it, like, the vibrations were still, something was still happening. Like, I seen everything. When I got back to my body, like, I seen a whole nother layer of reality over this reality that we are currently in. And I seen energy. That's literally, I seen energy, and I've like, yo, I could save the whole entire world right now. Like, why wait? Like, I can do this right now. Like, and I guess I instantly got caught out there, because you don't ever know what's out there in the ether. But I came back feeling like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Like, I'm so serious. My whole entire energy was just Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Like, for some reason, I don't know why. Like, this was the strongest character I've ever seen. So I guess that was the height of what I could feel. And literally, I could see reality, this reality. I see another reality. I see just straight blackness. And I see energy. Now, the energy I seen was the lights around us. Like, I could see the poles, you know, the light poles and the wires that connect everything and everything. Like, I seen those energies. Like, I seen it. It was like red, blue, like red lines of energy over everything. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like, this is all negative energy. This is all negative stuff. Like, they're using this stuff against us, and this is what it is. Like, for some reason, it was instant. Like, I could instantly know everything about anything instantly. Like, but when I realized like what was going on, and I'm in this backseat of this car, and I'm like, yo, I don't know what's going on. They don't know what was going on with me. They thought I was possessed. Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. For me, I didn't think I was possessed. But I'm telling them, like, my voice changed and everything, like, literally, like, and I'm like, yo, you guys, like, I'm trying to completely remember what's happening, what had happened, and I'm like, yo, you guys, like, I can lift this whole entire car up, like, I'm about to lift us up and pick us up, and like, we're just gonna fly this thing somewhere, like, and like, my whole body and everything just started vibrating, and I'm like, and let me tell you, gay, I felt completely the highest extent of the gay energy, and I'm not talking about homosexuality or anything, because what does gay truly mean? Happy. I was stuck in the most blissful happiness. I felt the real emotion of gaily feeling happy, like true happiness. And I'm like, yo, they've been hiding these emotions from us. Like, they don't even want us to feel these emotions. Like, this is crazy. Like, I was instantly, but before this even happened, I went through something else. Like, this is when, like, I started realizing, like, okay, the government is against us, you know, like, and this is, I was like 19. I'm 30 now, about to be 31 in a few months, and I'm like, okay, I've started learning about, like, yo, how the government is going against us, and, you know what I mean? But I honestly didn't have God in my life. Like, I knew God existed. Sorry for the runny nose. I knew God existed. I didn't have Jesus in my mind or anything. I just knew God was real, and that's all I knew. I believed in him, like, wholeheartedly. I attended churches as a kid and everything, and I really didn't pay it any mind or anything like that. Like, seriously, like, when I was 16 and stuff, like, I would smoke weed and go to church, like, and sleep and stuff. Like, I didn't know what was going on. Like, I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just what happened. And I'm in the backseat, back to the car. I'm in the backseat of this car, and I'm feeling my whole body shaking. And, like, once again, I was back in this physical realm. Like, I could see just this realm, no more of the energy stuff. But then as I got more excited about what I could do, I was looking at them, but I weren't looking at them. I was looking at something that was in them. And these beings, they were in their bodies. Like, I don't know if they were in their bodies or if I was completely in a whole nother realm while being in this realm at the same exact time. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, are you guys lying to me? Like, you guys are somebody. Like, what's going on? Like, and they're like, no. And as they turn to me, I can see things inside of them. They look reptilian, I'm not gonna lie. They look like some type of things, but this is before I knew about all of that. And I didn't really pay any type of attention. And I'm like, what are these things? And they're like, no, sit down. These are the things in them. They're looking at me saying, sit down. It's not your time yet, or no, like, don't worry about anything that's happening. Like, sit, relax. And I'm like, yo, like, you guys are lying to me. Like, and I'm stuck in this positive state of energy. Like, I couldn't do anything. And as we all know, positive energy is 1,000 times stronger than negative energy. And this is scientifically proven. So they couldn't stop anything. Whoever these beings were, they couldn't stop what was happening. They didn't have the power to. But I just sat back and I quit cigarettes. I was smoking cigarettes and I quit cigarettes. I'm like, yo, I'm done with all of this stuff. This is all negative energy. This is all stuff used against us. Like, and I quit that instant. And then like an hour later, I went right back to smoking cigarettes. Like, and I felt like I was this ultimate human. Like God gave me all of this stuff and showed me this stuff. Like, I wasn't thinking like that, but I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, my friend pulled over and I'm like, yo, because I was feeding for a cigarette, and then, like, he bought me a pack, and it was some random pack, because I smoke Newports, and he bought me some random pack, but it was like nothing could harm me. Like, the cigarettes, the food, no matter what it was, like, it was completely over. Like, there was no harm in me, or I couldn't do anything to myself to even harm myself with any of this stuff. Like, I knew that I was more powerful than any of these things could ever be. And it was completely insane. Like, and this is the beginning of a whole world of spiritual things that I couldn't even see coming. And I started, I guess, when we got back to Long Island. I'm trying to remember. There was so much. I'm telling you guys, there's so much stuff that happens, and this is 11 years worth of stuff, and it's completely crazy. I don't know if this was the beginning of this, or because now I'm trying to remember if I went through that first or if this happened first. But this is a major thing. And there's other things before this that led me into this, that the Lord has revealed to me. Like, I prayed and asked Him to reveal what's truly going on. And it wasn't until last year, the beginning of last year, 2019, that I was able to, that the Lord truly revealed, like, okay, this is what it really is. And I cried and so much, like, I'm still upset. But I guess during this time, I don't know what happened when I got back to Long Island. I tried to explain to my friends. They're like, yo, Dana's going crazy. I don't know what's wrong with him. Something happened. And I'm telling, oh no, yeah, once, this is another thing in the car, like, I really felt like I was about to just, my whole entire being was about to go somewhere, because I just kept vibrating, and like, I couldn't stop it. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to go somewhere, like, pull over, hold me down, like, hold me, keep me here, like, I don't know what's happening, like, and they're literally holding on to my arms and like, yo, it's gonna be okay, just relax. And I didn't go anywhere, but the new abilities or new powers or new consciousness that was truly awakened in me, and which I've learned now from reading, I watch a lot of the Watchmen on YouTube, because they expose the elite and they expose a lot of stuff. And I prayed and asked for the Holy Ghost to lead me to truth, because I was a fiend for wisdom, I was a fiend for knowledge, I was a fiend for truth, and I would not stop. And when I felt like I learned something, and I'm like, no, there has to be more. I didn't care. Like, I'm like, yo, there has to be more truth. Like, there's no way I've learned everything. And I prayed, and this is 2016 when it started happening, and the Lord led me to these Watchmen on YouTube, and blew my mind. And I realized, like, yo, I was doing all of this. Like, what I'm trying to tell you guys, which is going to be the overall theme, is that whatever is the future that is about to be upon us, I've lived it for the last 11 years. And I don't want any of you guys to be deceived, or for them to corrupt you and pull you into any of this, because it's complete madness. It is. We have power. They know this. I don't know. They don't want us to know this. They're keeping it to themselves. And if anyone comes out of this with powers or anything, like, they're instantly on you. Like, they were on me instantly. Like, Satan and everybody was on me instantly, because I wasn't on their side. I believed in God, and I'm like, yo, you're a liar. Like, and then this is what I mean by spiritual war. I was literally in battles against luciferians, against demons, and against Satan. Like, I'm talking deep into spiritual war, not just, like, I was deep in this, fighting literally with spiritual energy and powers and stuff that I didn't even know. I just knew I could do it. I'm not afraid, you know what I'm saying, because they know who I am. They've met me multiple times. They couldn't do anything. They are a little afraid of me. All of them. Satan, hell, Illuminati, all of them. They're literally afraid. And I don't think it's because of me. I think it's because of what was in me. And I think they seen Christ in me, or they seen something in me that scared them. And they were mad. They didn't want me to tell anybody this, because where I came from in the beginning of this whole entire thing was like, I have to tell the people about what's going on. And then at the same time, I'm like, yo, I can free their minds from the delusions and the chains and everything. and I could teach them about power. I could teach them about power. I could teach them about energy. I could teach them about positive energy, how to use everything, and what everything is being used against us. And that's when they were like, okay, he's not with us, so you know what I'm saying? Get him. Like, you feel what I'm saying? But thanks to the Lord God Almighty, because you can't destroy what God has ordained. And I don't mean anything about me. I mean like his energy, his signature is on everything. So no matter how deep they went, or no matter how lost I got, they couldn't do anything. But I'm gonna tell you what truly was going on, like, and this is just part one because there's so much to tell. So after this, I guess this is when I opened up to my mind, and my mind was way too open. And I guess schizophrenia is what they call it. You know, you hear voices or anything, like, but I'm on tripping. Like, after this, I started doing the LSD and everything, like, and my friends they told my parents, they told their parents called my mom, like, yo, Dana's out here doing drugs, he's wilding. Like, I was wilding, but they couldn't understand. I couldn't understand. I just knew I was into something. Like, I just knew something was going on, and the devil was literally trying to stop me, and they couldn't understand this because of where they were. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you know, this is a lost world. A lot of people are down, they are lost completely. And what I thank the Lord Jesus Christ for is for him truly explaining to me and giving me, for some reason, God has given me the gift of understanding. And I felt like it was a gift and a curse because I understood everything, no matter what it was. Complete understanding of people, of why things were the way they were. And when I read this in the Bible, when Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. And I literally saw it like, oh, Jesus is right. We do not know what we're doing. Like, and if he would have never said this, we would be completely done for, like, for real. Like, because Jesus knew. He knew, forgive them, they don't know what they do. And as I'm looking and I'm realizing, like, yo, we don't know what we're doing. Like, they don't know what they're doing. Like, they're going against God, they're going against everybody, and like, they don't know what they're doing. They believe no matter how much you believe and no matter how much you think you know what you're doing, you don't know anything about what you're doing. Trust me, you don't know. Believe in Jesus, follow Jesus. Like, that is it. Because he's the Messiah, he's the one, he has power and authority over heaven and earth. And he's shown me this so many times. But I didn't really have Jesus in my life until about, probably about 2013 when I got locked up. Because I was all about God, like, this is for God. Like, God is, like, for some reason it was in my mind that I had to protect my Father in heaven. I don't know why I had this thought. I didn't read the Bible. I just knew certain things, and this is where I got lost. Because I'm like, yo, I was why, and it didn't dawn on me. I was blind. I could see, but I couldn't see. I was hearing, but I wasn't hearing. I was perceiving, but I wasn't perceiving. And no matter if the truth was directly in my face, I could look at it, and I still wouldn't know. Still wouldn't know. Completely lost in a delusion. But back in 2009, I'm pretty sure I was somewhere else just now, but back in 2009, a lot of things started to happen. I've met luciferians. Like, my mom took me to the hospital. This is after that trip, and I guess I was doing drugs, and I was playing with powers and energy. I was an energy fiend. I was a power fiend. I was doing anything. I had it set in my mind that I no longer cared about reality. I only cared about spiritual things, and I was going to, like, it was in my mind that when you die, what can you take with you? your experiences and your knowledge, right? Because what else can you have? In which, this is what I was thinking, but now that I know, that's not even it either. Like, so when you die, there's only one or two places, up or down. Maybe hard to believe, but that's the truth. And the only knowledge you need is the knowledge of Christ, the knowledge of God. But I was thinking that if I had all of this knowledge and all of this stuff, that I would be so set in my next life. And then that's what I set my mind to. So I knew about reality. Like, we were in it, but I wasn't paying it any attention. I was in the spirit realm. I've literally, out of this 11 years, I could say about 7 to 8 years, I was spent living consciously, subconsciously, in the spirit realm, to the point where when I stopped doing the hallucinogenics, I was having spiritual withdrawals. I was withdrawing from not being in the spirit realm. You know what I'm saying? And like, I was thinking maybe I should just do acid again, or I should just do shrooms or something. Like, I need to get back. I need to do something. Like, but this is 2016, and we're in 2009 right now with this story. So my mom took me to the hospital after my friend's mom called her and told her I was doing LSD and stuff. So she wanted to take me to the hospital to get me checked out. And the way this happened was, I went home and she was like, "Yo, what's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Nothing." She didn't even say that. She was just watching me, and I'm watching the George Lopez show, and I'm laughing hysterically, like, yo. And I was seeing things within the show, and realizations and everything was just going through my mind, and I was just dying laughing. And she was like, "Yo, my son doesn't laugh this hard. Like, my son is not like this." So then I started laughing at her, like, "Are you serious right now?" Because I'm laughing. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So like, she's like, "What's something wrong with you? Like, I'm going to take you to the hospital, get you checked out." And I'm like, "You want to take me to the hospital? Let's go to the hospital." Like, because I didn't care. I'm like, what are they going to find? Marijuana or something in my system? Like, and I guess they were trying to search and see if I did LSD or something. They didn't even find the LSD or anything. All they seen was I was on marijuana. But I'm still tripping. Like, I guess I was coming down. Like, this trip was crazy. For some reason, it takes me months to come down off of a trip. It's like the energy and the whole hallucination part may be gone, but still tripping. Like, seriously, still tripping. And I went to the hospital. I was still tripping, but I didn't tell them this, so they labeled me schizophrenic. And this was the start. I didn't know. They knew. I didn't know who I was fighting. They labeled me because they're like, "We don't want anybody to believe what he's saying, so we're just gonna tell him he's schizophrenic." I diagnosed myself. I realized that I had depression or something. Like, it wasn't even that. It was something. I've read these brochures or whatever in the hospital, and this is a Stony Brook Hospital in Long Island. This place is completely wicked too. Like, and well, not the place, but they know how to do things. You know what I mean? These people own everything. They own the world. How do you fight somebody that owns everything? Like, they could come into the hospital, they could come into your workplace, and you won't even know who these people are. But because of what the Lord had put me through, I guess, or the energy and the gifts and powers that I had sense. So I'm sensing, like, okay, this is what it is, and this is what they can do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I sensed it, like, okay, they know who I am, and they wanted to know about 2012, because this was like 2009, I guess, the first time. And so anyway, I knew that I wasn't schizophrenic or whatever. And but they diagnosed me that anyway, because I told them I was hearing voices. So they're like, "Oh, he's hearing voices, he's schizophrenic." But literally, I'm still on a hallucination. I'm still tripping. Like, you know what I mean? Still tripping. And so they diagnosed me that. But I didn't realize it was to keep me down, so that nobody would believe or understand. But even though I would tell people, and they'd be like, "Get out of here, you're not schizophrenic." Like, I know crazy people, you're not crazy. Like, and I guess, you know, the Lord is good in that way. But I don't know. I don't want this video to really be too long because I don't want you guys to get lost. But, okay, so this is what happened. While I'm in the hospital, I felt like my job was I could do more than what the doctors could for these people that were in this place. I was in the psych ward, the psych zone of the hospital, but I'm like, I can do more for these people than what they can. And it's healing through positive energy. I'm like, positive energy is the key. Like, so I kept people happy. I was, and putting smiles on their faces, and everybody liked me. But so I met a Luciferian in the hospital. His name is Jason. I think Jason Akers or something like that. And he's telling me about all of this stuff, and meanwhile I'm trying to put things together in my mind about what's going on, and I was lost, you guys. I was lost. I used to think I was a god. I used to think we were all gods. I used to think that this is what God had for us. But I used to think that I knew the devil was a liar and trying to teach people that they're all gods. But I thought that this is what God had for us in the end, that he would make in miniature versions of himself, and it was us, and that this is why Satan was mad, and you know what I'm saying? So I thought we were all gods. I thought I was a god, you know what I'm saying? I used to think I was God, and that he was using me for these things. Completely insane, right? This is my mind at that time. But I'm still against the enemy, completely. It's like, so this Luciferian, and he's like, okay, I see something in you, and this is a lot of stuff is going on, because people in the streets and from my town, they felt the energy, whether they wanted to admit it or not. I was doing a lot of things, I'm not gonna lie. They knew something was going on, but I guess they couldn't tell, so they might have thought they were all gods, you know what I'm saying? Because I was making people gods. I could literally look at you and release every single energy and thought ever, and you would just have power out of nowhere. I had that ability. So they literally followed me into the hospital, I guess, and they were hiding their stuff, and even this Luciferian was tripping and bugging out, like, yo, what's going on? Who are you guys? But I don't know, for some reason I guess he befriended me, you know what I mean? And I'm talking to him, and he's telling me about angelics. He's like, there's three beings, there's three types of people. There's angelics, there's demonics, and there's vampirics. Of course, he was a demonic. He said his girl was an angelic. So he's telling me about all of this stuff. I learned a lot of stuff from this guy, and I don't know what was going on. I guess they started calling me the newbie, as if they automatically assumed that I was on their side. I've never told them a lot of things, but they automatically assumed that I was on their side. They instantly tried to get me to join them, and they've been trying to get me to join ever since. Me, beat it. You feel what I'm saying? Beat it. But they've been trying to get me to join ever since, and they were trying to force me, and somehow they forced me through illusions, and before I knew it, I guess it was too late, but yeah, so I ended up fighting these people. I was fighting him. When I left the hospital, they came and started doing things, and I ended up fighting these people. And I'm not really crying, it's just my eye. It's literally, I have tearing problems. Every time I come outside, my eye just instantly starts tearing for no reason. I don't even know. But I had really crazy spiritual battles with these people, and this is how I knew a lot of things were true. I knew about this grid, and they were like, oh, this is what Satan was teaching them. They call him dad. They call Satan dad. So they're like, this is what my dad taught us. How do you know about this field? And I'm like, you think you're the only ones that know everything? I scared the crap out of them. I scared them completely, because they're like, how in the world can anybody have these powers and these abilities? I didn't even know how I had them either. You know what I mean? And I know who they belong to. I know it's not mine. You feel what I'm saying? But deluded me. I'm at my house. There's a lot of things I'm skipping. I'll probably tell it in a different video. It'll come up. I'm at my house and there's a lot of mental battles. Everything is in the mind. Like, I've seen this field, you know what I'm saying? And they call himself, he said his dad worked in the military, and he tried to get into the military. His dad he designed bombs or something, tried to get in there, and they won't accept his things or whatever. But his people, they obviously work in the military. And he said they are in this group called the Stoners, and they smoke a lot of weed, and what they do is they'll get so high that they enter into the reality. I used to call it the time within the time, I guess. Like, there's this level. I used to know everything about everything, and I just gave it all up. So I'm trying to recall everything. There's seconds within the mind, and I guess 7 seconds before you receive a thought or something like that, and like they move within those seconds. It's so fast. Like, something that happened, you're like, what just happened? I could have sworn I just seen something. I could have sworn I just felt something. That was them. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they move within that thing, and like they enter into this realm in which I can tell you it's a grid. It's a reality that I guess they pulled over our eyes within our minds. So they're traveling within our minds, but it's this realm, but it's the realm within our minds, because it's going to take a lot of explaining. But anyway, they move within these seconds. You feel what I'm saying? And I knew about it because I was doing the same thing too, but I didn't realize like what was truly going on until I started fighting these people. And I'm like, you think I don't know about this either? And they're like, oh, well, how do you know about what our dad told us? And da-da-da. And they're like, what if I do this? You know what I mean? Literally, this is how they battle me. Like, this is how Satan battled me. Like, oh, what if I show myself like this? Or what if I appear like this? What are you going to do? Like, and he literally showed himself as like this big, giant being made of nothing but fire. Like, and I'm like, yo, you gotta be kidding me. I was defeating him in every level. Like, he was like, oh man, like, and I remember that this is just the last one. He was like, well, what if I show up like this? And I'm like, well, I'll just do this. Like, and I flew up in the sky, and like, I will devour you. I eat energy. I will eat your whole entire being. Like, and then that's when he left it alone. Like, I guess they got scared or whatever. So, but during this fight, I felt like a laser, like a spiritual laser. Like, they were fighting me with lasers, and they lasered off my ear, and they like lasered my heart. I didn't care what they were doing. So I'm like, whatever, I can do the same thing back. So I did it to them. I guess I took off his foot or something like that. But this is spiritual fighting. It's not happening physically. It has physical effects, but it's more of a spiritual fight. It's a spiritual thing. So they took out my heart, I guess you could say. Literally, like, I didn't care. And then I felt it. Like, my heart felt like it was bleeding. Like, they took it completely out of my being. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this is how I knew it was real, because the next day, my girl, there's a lot of stuff that happened between us two. They knew about the powers and everything, because it was just off of me, my aura. If you were around me, you got it. Something was happening. You feel what I'm saying? So she knew things were happening. She couldn't explain it. They were keeping it to themselves, but I knew, you know. And I was so connected to my girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, I loved her so much that I felt our souls become one. And our souls literally became one. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what the Lord says, two souls who join and become one flesh. We weren't married or anything, but I just felt like I was disconnected to her. I could feel her being. Like, I knew when she was upset. I knew when she was sad, you know, and like, but it was always in my mind, like, because of who I was, she was going to be the one. You know how that old saying, oh, you do girls so dirty, there's going to be one girl that does you wrong. I used to think that was her, but I didn't realize I caused these things upon myself by thinking these thoughts. I made them my reality. But when they took out my heart, and I felt my heart bleeding or whatever, she said that night, she bled black. Like, I guess she had her period, and it came out black. Her blood was black. And I'm like, in my mind, I instantly knew, like, oh, that was because they attacked me and it came out through you. So this is how their black magic is working. And that was the sign that, yo, this is real. I guess that really happened, you know what I mean? But, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. And, this was one of the battles, one of the many. And but that thing with Satan mind battling is he's really the one that literally keeps trying. It's like, yo, come join me. If you join me, this will happen. If you join me, I'll give you this. If you join me, I'll do this. If you join me, just join us. You don't know, and you don't understand what's going on. You don't understand, and la la la. And I'm like, blah blah blah. I don't care what you're saying. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, but they still kept the whole time, no matter what. Like, literally coming to me in my dreams, coming to me like I hear them all the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can hear them. I hear what's going on. I know what they're thinking. I know who they're talking to. I know everything that's going on. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. And I'll explain that in another video. But this is just part one. I guess I need to stop. And I'll explain a lot more later. But this, I guess, would be the confessions of someone who's been in this war. It's time for you guys to wake up and know that this is real. And there's a lot of things. And I thought I had all of these powers, all these skills, but I did. It was a lie. I had these, whatever they, but the chakras and all of that stuff, and I was beyond that, but they're gonna, this is what's happening, and it's gonna be used against you because they were using it against me, and I didn't even realize it. But you guys have to wake up. This is Dana, new watchman, trying to be a watchman. Like, you know, I just need to expose them. They knew I were gonna make this video, but they know that Jesus ain't playing, and I am protected. And I'll explain more about everything that's going on. You guys have a blessed Saturday. Peace and love. Love Christ. Live, love Christ. That's my motto. Live, love Christ. Forever.